from RTO here. Welcome to another live album ranking where we look at artists' live album collection. I love live albums, and that's why we do them. And I know there's a lot of you out here like me talking about people's live albums. And today we're talking about one of my favourite artists, Mr. Peter Gabriel. I really love his live material. There's some good stuff, and there is some stuff that's not as good. But at the end of the day, it's all Peter Gabriel. He's released 6 official live albums, but we have got an honourable mention today. I couldn't do this without mentioning a certain Peter box set. So let's get started. So coming in at number 6 is an album that released in 1985, and it's Plays Live, the highlights. On here we've got I Have the Touch Family Snapshot DIY, The Family in the Fishing Net, I Go Swimming, San Janico, Salisbury Hill, No Self Control, I Don't Remember, Shock the Monkey, Humdrum and Bilko. Now, I don't own this for obvious reasons. I don't want to own it. I just couldn't see the point of putting out a highlights album. If you want to listen to this, you go and buy the full album. I think it was I don't know if it was a record company thing, but I think this one was a pointless waste of time, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 1 out of 10 because I think it was a pointless album. It's only getting the point because the songs are good, but it's a pointless album. Okay, then coming in at number 5, got an album released in 2011 and was recorded over 2 nights at the Hammersmith Apollo in March of 2011, and it is Live Blood, which featured the New Blood Orchestra, including his daughter Melanie. Basically, these are when he brought out that New Blood album with all the classic versions of the songs. On here we get Intruder, which isn't too bad, Wallflower, Boy in the Bubble from the Paul Simon song, isn't too bad, Après Moi, it's alright, The Drop, Washing of Water. Now this is the one that features his daughter singing, and she's got a nice voice. The Book of Love, Darkness, The Power of the Heart. Biko, it's not a bad version with the orchestra, or not San Janico. Dig in the Dirt, it's alright. Signal to Noise. Yeah. Down Sign Up Again features his daughter Melanie. Mercy Street sounds not too bad. The Rhythm of Heat. I prefer the proper version, in all honesty. Blood of Eden doesn't sound bad with an orchestra. Red Rain, Salisbury Hill, In Your Eyes, Don't Give Up. It never sounds the same without Kate. The Nest That Sailed the Sky. This is a pleasant enough album, in all honesty, but I find it, if I'm going to be quite honest, I find it a little boring at times. When I listen to it again to see how, when I was ranking this, I really struggled towards the end. But some of the interpretations classically do sound okay, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5 because it isn't too bad. Okay, then coming in at number 4, this is a live album and it was filmed and when that was a DVD from 2003, Growing Up Live. It was filmed in Milan in Italy, and the musicians on here are Peter Gabriel, who does the vocals and keyboards, of course. Richard Evans does some guitars and mandolin and whistles. Melanie Gabriel is lead and backing vocals. The one and only Mr. Tony Levin on the bass, electric upright bass and backing vocals. Ged Lynch on drums. David Rhodes on guitars. Rachel Z on keyboards. We had some special guests. The Blind Boys of Alabama. Savannah Nakakan and Trois Couvdieff. This one opens up with Here Comes the Flood, which is a great track from them, one of his early tracks, and they do a really good version of that. It's excellent. Darkness, it's always good. Red Rain is really good on here. Secret World, Sky Blue, Downside Up, brilliant. The Barry Williams Show. More Than This, Mercy Street's on here. Digging That in the Dirt, really good. Growing Up, that's really good on this. Animal Nation, Salisbury Hill, Sledgehammer, it's a good version of this. Signal to Noise and In Your Eyes. Father Son's brilliant on here. What a way to end this album. This is a really good album, I think. But as obviously as Peter's got older, his voice gets changed and gets a little bit deeper. But, you know, being Peter Gabriel, he just rearranges everything so it doesn't sound wrong. And I like listening to this. It's got a nice selection of songs from all over his career up till then. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, then coming at number 3. This is an album that was recorded in 2013 at the O2. It also came out as the DVD as well. And it's Back to Front, live in London. On here we've got Mr. Gabriel, of course, David Rhodes on guitars and vocals, Jenny Aberson on vocals and a guitar, the ever-present Mr. Tony Levin, who's a major part in Pete's live band, David Sanchez on keyboards, Leanna Olson on vocals, and Manu Katché on the drums. Now the way this is done, it sort of starts off as acoustic and it builds up. So you got acoustic songs and then electric songs. So we get Daddy Longlegs, Come Talk to Me, and Shot the Monkey, all acoustic. Family Snapshot, Dig in the Dirt, Secret World, Family in the Fishing Net, Salisbury Hill, and Show Yourself. They're all the acoustics, and then we go into the electrics. Opens up with Red Rain. Absolutely brilliant version of that. Sledgehammer, always great live. Don't Give Up, it's not a bad version. That voice again, Mercy Street, big time, is great on here. We Do What We're Told, Milgram's 37. Picture This, really good. In Your Eyes, The Tower That Ate People, and ends up with a bit of Biko. As I said, this is an album of an unplugged set and a full electric set. I think this is a great vocal, and I think Peter's voice is a lot better than on the Growing Up. I don't know what he's done, or he's rested, or has done some lessons or something, but his voice sounds absolutely belting on this, and the production on it's great. It's a really good album. I do like the acoustic stuff, and I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay then, coming at number 2, an album that was recorded again in Italy in 1993 and released in 1994, and it's Secret World Live. Got Peter Gabriel on lead vocals, harmonica, keyboards, and a rain stick. Paula Cole did some additional vocals on Shaking the Tree and Blood and Even and Don't Give Up. Al Shakor violins and additional vocals. David Rhodes on guitars, Jean-Claude Namaro on keyboards. Tony Levins on bass and Chapman stick. Manu Katché on the drums. And Levin Manison on the duduk. Opens up with Come Talk to Me. Great version. Sounds a lot better than it does on the album. Steam, really good on this. Again, much better on the live than it is in the studio. Across the river, pretty good. Slow marimbas, little short thing. Shaking the Tree, which is Gabriel and written by Iain Denor. Really good version of that. These sound a lot better than from the album. Red Rain, always a good track. Blood of Eden, beautiful version of that. Kiss That Frog, really good. Washing of the Water, it's pretty solid. Salisbury Hill's nice on here. We got Digging in the Dirt, that's always a good track live. Sledgehammer, really good version. A stonking version of Secret World. A very good version of Don't Give Up. And it ends up with In Your Eyes. As I said, this is a great album, and I think these songs are a lot better live than the album. I can't remember the name of the album. I'll put it for what's the name of the album, Iain? Oh, it's bugging me. I'm supposed to be a Peter Gabriel fan, and I've just had a mental block. There we go. Here's the album. I'll tell you in a minute. Us, of course. That's Wally. Yeah, it's a lot better than the Us version. I think. I reckon these are the definitive versions of the songs from Us. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. If you wonder what that banging was, it's Rocky. Guy Nature, and he's kicked the paper shredder. Okay then, my number one. This has been my number one for a long time. I remember first getting this. It's released in 1983 and it was recorded in the United States and Bath, England in 1983, and it's that full proper version of Peter Gabriel Plays Live. Brilliant album this is. On here we've got Peter Gabriel on lead vocals, Derry Marotta on drums, Tony Levin on the bass, David Rose guitars, Larry Fast synthesizers, Peter Walsh doing the mastering and editing. Opens up with the definitive version of A Rhythm of the Heat from PG4. Absolutely brilliant version. I Have the Touch, again, great version. Not One of Us, definitive version. Family Snapshot, definitive version. DIY, great. The Family and the Fishing Net, brilliant on here. The Intruder, I love the live version of that, it's a great track. I Go Swimming, brilliant. Side 3 opens up with San Janico, the best version of that. Stonking version of Salisbury Hill. No Self Control, I don't remember, all classics. Now side 4 is actually the one that's recorded in the United States and it's recorded in Kansas City. We get Shot the Monkey, again, definitive version. A beautiful version of Humdrum. Love that on the air. Brilliant. And probably the best version of Biko. Terrific version of Biko. Again, I think that's the definitive version of Biko. Great way to end the live album. This is brilliant. Got the first songs from the first 4 albums, and to me they are the best Peter Gabriel albums without a doubt. His voice was absolutely on fire at this time, of course, and this band that played on this is probably the best band that he ever had. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5. Okay then, I have got a honourable mention today, and the reason I've put this in because when they did the 25th anniversary box in 2012, two of the CDs were a live concert from the tour when it was recorded in Athens in 1987. We've got guitarist David Rose, bassist Tony Levin, drummer Jerry Mortata and Larry Fast. So he's got some of his classic musicians. Tracks on this, this is the picture, brilliant version. San Janico's great, Shot the Monkey is superb on this. Family Snapshot, great again. Intruders, a brilliant version of Grain Without Frontiers. And it's great that I've got this on this album because there's not many albums with this track on. I think this is the only one, and it's a brilliant version. No Self Control, brilliant on here. Mercy Street is great on here. Family in the Fishing Net, probably the best live version of Don't Give Up. Salisbury Hill, lovely version of that. Lay Your Hands on Me is brilliant on this. And then the best version of Sledgehammer you'll ever hear. Awesome. Here Comes the Flood, great version. Peter's vocals on that is superb. You only get a little bit of that. In Your Eyes, brilliant version of that. And it ends with Biko, which is as good as the one on the Plays Live, I think. I just love this little gem on this Peter Gabriel box set. I mean, Grain Without Frontiers is brilliant. Now, if I was to have put this in the ranking, it would come in at number 2, and I reckon round about 9.2, 9.3, because it's an absolute belter of a live album. If you haven't got it, go and check it out, because I think it is on Spotify. But you know, it's worth having that box set just for that. That's probably one of the only reasons I got it, because it's got this live from the tour. Okay, that's all for Mr. Gabriel. I'll be back later with a brand new album review, and this time we're looking at the new album 18, which has got Jeff Beck, legend, Johnny Depp trying to be a rock star. Talk about that a little bit later. So I'll see you later. If you like what we do, you know, give us a thumbs up, and if you really like what we do, why don't you subscribe and hit that bell, and then you don't miss out, because we put stuff up every damn day of the week, except Saturday and Sunday. But on Saturday and Sundays now, you get something that I put up in the community where we go into the vaults of RTO, and I put stuff that we did a year ago, and just going through some stuff to give you an idea of what we do. So see you later. Bye for now.